Sorry about that. So, bottom line, you need all of those things working together: the respiration rate, the atmosphere that you've determined to go in the package, the OTR of the film, and the size of the package, or the total surface area for the OTR of that package, to get a total package oxygen transmission rate. So what kinds of things do we have? Ready to eat meals, microwave cooking. So things are already pre-packaged, ready to go. You just shove it in the microwave and hit the button and you've got yourself a meal. And there's lots of things in that regard. Just peel off the top for ventilation or peel off a patch. There's so many microwavable innovations that have gone on in the last several years, even though that's something that you think, oh, microwave meals, we've been doing that for decades. Well, yeah, but there have been new ways to do it, new types of side dish preparation. The side dish is already done in a bag. You just stick in the microwave. So when the steak comes off the grill, you got yourself a nice, healthy, vegetable-based side dish to go on the plate next to the steak you decided to cook or whatever you're doing. Easy open materials. Don't worry about the SUP, but uh, again, types of packaging materials that are easy for the consumer to open, that also might be able to be resealable, which I don't see here on this list, but the idea that once you open it, you can close it again is really important. Barbecue bags, things you can throw, the meal's already set, you just throw it in the barbecue, throw it on the grill. Breathable trays, which are like the OTR films on packaged salads. Now they're using the same concept for trays. Bin liners or bag in a box. I mentioned the OTR patches. And so there are many bin liners that go inside of these pallet-sized large bins to collect big quantities of material and still put them in a modified atmosphere environment. Multi-temperature steaming technology, multi-compartment or multi-product cooking. If I haven't mentioned this before, I should have, but trying to get everything ready at the same time, everything ready in the same way. If you're cooking it, whether it's on the barbecue, in a microwave, in the oven, on the stove, if it's in a package. Now, I haven't seen it on the stove multi-compartment, but anyway, how do you make sure that they're all going to be ready at the same time in this multi-compartment cooking? It's a lot of technology and a lot of effort. So easy open, you might have noticed that there are some packages, you try to tear it off before it's been microwaved. It doesn't tear very well, but you just poke it with a knife for ventilation. And after you microwave, it slides right off, peels right off. And that is really important in terms of consumer convenience, but it also is a lot of technology in the adhesive used to join the film to the tray. And so you have to look at all kinds of things. How will steam move through that package as you are microwaving it? How do you make sure steam escapes properly? How do you keep the your cherry cobbler dessert from tasting like the marinara sauce on the main dish right next door to it? Again, lots of different things that help the consumers produce a very functional meal in very short amount of time. For produce, you have a permeable top web with standard simple step Simple Steps trays. Again, that's a brand name, don't worry about it. Targeting of fresh vegetables in the retail and food service markets. And you're aiming for something that with proper storage, cold chain, you can keep it for 2 weeks. And that's generally the safety margin. We found that we were able to combine things in ways where we could get it to 3 weeks. But even though we could do it, we never wanted to push it that far. We wanted to have a really, really comfortable 2 weeks that we know it'll last another week under our conditions, but since we can't control the grocery store and the consumer's kitchen refrigerator, 2 weeks was always the max. And I think that's still today kind of what most companies are pushing toward. They don't like the idea of being liable for putting a use by date that's after 2 weeks for these fresh products. It's not worth the risk. This is just some examples. The ester steam is an example of a packaging material that is microwavable for steaming products. Can ester, again, you can read these. I'm not going to go through some of the details on these because they change over time. The Q-Bag is a particular branded, trademarked grill bag where you can just buy something at the store that carries this product, throw it on the grill, and you can have your side dish cooking on the grill right next to your burgers, hot dogs, or steak. Placing things in the microwave. Certainly here's a multi-tray design, multiple vents in this design, and trying to make sure that things are placed and organized in a way where they cook the right amount. And you have to think it's not just in the tray. You pre-cook things that go into these trays to the right level. You size or create portions that go well together. You might make certain dishes like a hot cherry cobbler is common because it works really well. It microwaves really well. And then you've got a hot sweet dessert sitting right there when you're done with the other 2 compartments. And cheesecake wouldn't go well in one of these. It's supposed to be eaten cold. And so you have to think about how you would combine things in something like this. Who knows? Maybe somebody will have a tray where you keep it in the refrigerator. You snap off the end of the tray that has your cheesecake, and then you microwave the rest, and you've got a meal with hot and cold things together. Never seen that, but why not? Why not? Plastic film, the cover technology. Now this is designed to stay in a refrigerator or freezer, most likely a freezer, until it's ready to eat. Once you cook it, then it peels after heating. Before heating, it doesn't peel well. So here's an example. You've got a rice dish, a vegetable dish, and the meat with some sort of sauce all combined. There are lots more things that don't work that you would think, well, can't they just shove whatever in those 3 sections? And the answer is no. A lot of things don't get along well in the packaging because of cooking time, microwave time, flavor contamination, cross flavors that just don't do well together. There are lots of things that just don't get along well. So putting it all together, the conclusions, through understanding of our requirements and desired results, we can come up with innovation. You need to know all of these things: the physiology, the packaging, the consumer requirements, the marketing requirements, all of this. So you're matching the requirements to the properties of what you're putting into the package, the properties of, what is it? Is it a living material like a bagged salad? Is it a dead material like a frozen dinner? Understanding the language, we've talked about OTR, MA, CA, etc. There's definitely language, respiration rate, RR, R, me. Selecting the proper package, designing the proper package, and ongoing quality and testing. There is constantly things being reviewed, even when you have it down pat. When I was working at Fresh Express, we had some of our packages that were in use for years and worked very predictably and very well. Yet every single month, we would be running tests on every product line we had and running them through our quality control system. And I'm not just talking about the quality control production, I'm talking about data and research to monitor how things are performing over time. So you can compare to other products, so you can see if there are changes due to perhaps uncontrollable things like the weather outside during production. You got to keep your eyes on these things and keep a continuous look at quality, research, and testing. So this is the contact information that you can ignore, but this is the credit for the author of this particular presentation. That is it.